All right, we're back on this Mercedes, and I did find something interesting, and that's why I'm making a video with on the air conditioning on this. As you can see, it's coming out 35.7.8 degrees out the dash. This is the outside air temperature right there. Let's go up to our pressures. Now, look at our superheat. We're around 16 degrees superheat. We're at about 1,000 RPMs. That's a diesel. And I finally rigged up something to get the RPMs to go up to about 1,000 RPMs and hold it there nice and steady. It's not the perfect scenario, but it's better than nothing. I'm not under, I'm not stepping on the tap. And the reason I'm way over here is because the diesel is so damn noisy. It's really hard for me to talk over the diesel. Our pressure is staying pretty rock solid. Let's go look at our graph. It's just a little up and down now. I got it at a point where it doesn't cycle the fan off. So let's go back over to here and look at the fan. So this is the fan cycling in and off and off. This is not a variable displacement compressor. Now remember, I've been showing you variable displacement compressors who do this, fans that do this, and I just heard the fan go off. And there you go. You see right there. I think the AC just turned off right now. We just got to witness it live. The AC just cut the compressor. So that's the compressor coming off. You could see the high side dropping down. You could see the low side going up. And if we go over to temperature, what do we see on the temperature? Let's go to the temperature. Whoops. And we'll look at the temperature. And you could see the temperature raising. 35, 38. It's going up. Let's go back to pressure. And we look with the clutch engaged right there. So that's the compressor clutch disengaging. Right there where you see it took that rapid drop down. That is the clutch engaging. I just heard the fan come on. Then it went all the way up to here. Let's see if I could get it up high. Roughly 240 PSI, if you could see, if it'll focus. Come on, Apple. 240 PSI. Right there at roughly 240 PSI. You can hear and you can see the electric fan kick in. And on the low side where it's always like 13 PSI, 14 PSI, right when the clutch kicked out, you see it raise to 26 PSI, 27 PSI, 27 PSI. And then right when the clutch kicked in, you can see it dropped again. And there it goes, it's down to 15 PSI. But what I found was, with my fingers an excessive temperature drop across the subcooling. Look at that subcooling. 64, 66 subcooling. But what I noticed, I go, man, it's not overcharged that much, and I know that is not normal for this vehicle. So what I did was I took my fingers and I used my fingers to measure temperature, because this is what you're supposed to do your whole entire life when you work on air conditioning. So what I did was I took my fingers, this is the discharge hose off of the compressor, and I put my fingers right here, and I'll go, damn, that's hot. That's really hot. And it's 60 some degrees. And then I took my fingers, and this is the liquid line out of the condenser, and I put my fingers there and I go, damn, this is really cool. That's more than 50 degrees. Usually 50, 55 degrees, you would not want to see a temperature drop across this condenser more than 50, 55 degrees or so. So let's go take some real numbers. Let's not listen and look at my fingers. Let's see what our temperature gauge shows us here. So let me see if I can get you without glare. We are looking at this temperature, 61, 60 degrees. So the liquid out of the condenser is 61 degrees. Now remember, we don't want more than 50, 55 degrees drop across the refrigerant from the hot vapor going in and the liquid coming out. So let's get over here and let's go onto the hot vapor. You got to make sure that turns green. That means it has contact. So now let's go back over here. So we had 60 degrees before. So the temperature is going to go up. 150. See if I can get that to focus a little better. 151. So what it's doing is warming up the mass of the thermistors at the tip of the temperature probe right here, because I just came from a cooler to a warmer. So what is the temperature drop across the condenser? 90 degrees, 92 degrees. There's a 92 degree temperature drop against that condenser. Now, you'd go, that sounds perfect to me, because I got 36 degrees out coming out the dash. Yes, that's 36 degrees at this ambient temperature with this sun load. Yes, this car has been sitting in, and I just heard the fan just went out, and the clutch just disengaged. The clutch is up. So at 36 degrees on this car, the thermostat tells the clutch to disengage. But that's a 90 degree drop. It came in with no refrigerant on it. So what could the possible story be here? They ran it for a long time, really low on refrigerant. And the compressor was getting a lack of superheat, is getting a lack of cooling of cool refrigerant charge back to the compressor. And these compressors do not like to be overheated, and a lack of oil return. And these phenolic, let's say they're kind of like a Teflon plastic, let's say a black plastic material like that. They're not really plastic, but they can't take lack of oil and high heat. And what happens is the piston ring material comes off in these long shreds, and then it gets ejected out of the discharge port. It travels up the high side tube, and then those long thin shreds of piston ring material go into this condenser. And if you look at the small, do you see the small tubes, these small bends right here? Those are 6 millimeter tubes. So 6 millimeter tubes have a very tight turning radius. Those are very tight turning radius, and the long shreds of, say, plastic material from the piston rings get caught in some of these turns. I know, because my dad used to have me cut these in half and cut them at the turns, and you would find a bunch of, in one or two of the tubes or several of the tubes, you would find the piston ring material stuck in one of the bends when the refrigerant was ejected as a hot discharge gas, and it tries to make somewhere, it gets caught. And then a second shred builds up there, and a third shred builds up there. And sometimes when you put your fingers on all of them, you can find exactly where it is under perfect conditions. And that's under perfect conditions, not all conditions. So we got 150, what was that, 160 degrees? Damn it, I just backed out of that. 157 to 160 degrees inlet vapor temperature into the condenser. 60 degrees outlet from the condenser. So it's working now, and every shop, most guys, they go, oh, it's perfect, fine, float the customer out. The first 80, 90, 100 degree day comes up, it goes up to near 400 PSI, it gets hot, it can condense, it blows the compressor, it slips a clutch, and remember, this clutch had an extra wide gap in the first place, but it becomes a problem later on. So I found a problem, gets noted down, they could purchase the parts now, get ready for this, and then come back, discharge it, do it. Or this is going off used car, he'll say, you can take it off the price or fix it now. But that's all I'm doing right now. I found a problem, I notated a problem, I documented a problem, and I know it's going to be a problem. And you tell the customer right now, okay, this is your options. You want to do A, B, or C. And in writing, have the customer notate exactly what you told them what was wrong, and they decide, do they want to pop for this expense now, or it'll become a bigger expense. Well, on a car like this, you just don't do the condenser and the radiator. Flush the system, it's 40 years old, change the expansion valve, and do the whole job right. If somebody on a car this old just wants to do the compressor and the condenser, or they say just a condenser, no warranty at all whatsoever. You do it once, you do it right, or you don't do it at all. And if they do want to say, oh, I want to take the odds, you put in really black and white stipulated notes exactly what you told them what's going to be the result of a failure if it fails on them, and how much more on there. Give them an estimate of a complete system flush out 40-year-old hose. You don't take off 40-year-old hoses and try to move them around and bend them. They'll leak afterwards, especially the discharge. You're going to be doing new hose. If you take these hoses off and you bend them any and you make little micro cracks in it, you do the whole system and replace all the parts, then the hose leaks. You cannot reuse these old hoses, take them off, flush them out. So if you're going to be bending and moving these hoses, they're going to be your next leak point. So you don't try to clean them, bend them, or do anything. You just replace them. I'm telling you from decades of experience that I've went through, all the losses I've seen other shops do, and this was information that was given to me by my father. All right, guys, I'll see you later.